Hey everybody, it's LavenderTowne.
Lately, a thought has been keeping me in a bit of a chokehold. I haven't been able to stop thinking about it, and frankly, I'm ready to just give in. I want to make a VTuber.
It feels like a lifetime ago that I made this simple statement. It was in fact November 6th, so it was about a month, but regardless, I started this series like I would start any character design prompt, essentially. I just made a character who I thought was cute, made her a couple different outfits, played around with the design, and was generally completely in my comfort zone. After part 1 was finished, I started to realize what I'd actually gotten myself into. This subculture, this niche, requires a level of technical ability with live 2D cubism that I was simply not prepared for, but I managed to make my model all separated out the way she had to be, as well as eventually learning cubism well enough that I could kind of sort of make her move like she was supposed to. This video is part 3. This is the final part of this series, where we will see if I can actually successfully become a VTuber. So when we left off, all I had was my rigged VTuber, but you can't actually make them move without another secondary program. For this I use VTube Studio, and all you have to do to get your character in it is basically drag in that exported file that you had made previously in Cubism. So I did that with a couple of mistakes, but eventually I was able to get it in there, and then these little gray no icon ones will show up, and that will be the character that you've actually made. Now when I opened it up, it actually worked okay right off of the webcam, but I had heard that the iPhone tracking was better, so I wanted to do a test. Okay, this is a test of the mobile version versus the computer webcam version. So the mobile version is supposed to be better, and I think it probably is. I feel like the mouth is a lot more accurately tracked on the phone. But yeah, I wanted to show you guys both of these. You saw some little bit of screen tearing right here. And also, if I try to wink, it works a lot better on the phone, I think. Yeah, pretty cool. Because I realized that the mobile version of the face tracking worked better, but I still wanted to be able to adjust everything on my actual computer, and that would make it easier to stream, I used the Connect USB setting. So basically the way it works is that you set your phone in front of your face, kind of in front of your computer screen, and you plug it into your computer, and then as long as you have VTube Studio on both your computer and your phone, it can use your phone's face tracking data and make it work on the computer. Yeah, so I adjusted some of the sensitivities a little. I found that the mouth open sensitivity was best if it was a little bit higher, and the brow sensitivity was best at the absolute max. I think because I have bangs, so it's harder for the software to read, and after a little bit of calibrating, I was pretty happy with it. So the next step, despite the fact that I kind of didn't want to do this, was to do a sort of soft opening, a sort of dry run, where I took my VTuber in her current state and actually went on Twitch and tried to do a live stream. I ended up playing Stardew Valley. Okay. Grandpa, are you good? And Minecraft. Alright, time to go into the cave and get murdered, I guess. Because we really need some iron. Otherwise, we're not going to make any progress. Oh my god, no! And I was able to ascertain from this test stream a bunch of things that I had to fix. First, I realized that I had forgotten to make a mouth form slider, causing problems like this. Other than her creepy stone-faced chuckling, she also had several problems with one of her eyes dropping closed, even though I was not actually closing them, sort of some intentional drunken-looking winking that I think was caused by low light. I will be employing my ring light over at my other computer next time, and we'll see if that fixes it. I also made 2 embarrassingly rookie streaming mistakes that only happened because I had actually switched over to my gaming computer. I forgot how clicky my keyboard was. Oh yeah, my keyboard's really clicky. I might should switch to a different one, maybe in the future. And my bitrate was set too low, causing my Minecraft section of the stream to just look horrendously pixelated. those are both easy fixes, but I'll put them on the to-do list anyway. And speaking of the to-do list, here it is. Here are all the things that we have to do today before I will consider my VTuber project finished. So first thing on the checklist is to make custom alerts for her, and I needed a special sound. Ooh. 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 Get it? You know, because she's a ghost and a cow, so like... Anyway, all I had to add was some reverb and some echo, and I got this. Ooh. After that, I had to make a quick little animation that would pop up when somebody subscribed or anything like that. I ended up deciding to make two, even though I only had one special audio clip. This first one I really liked. It's just her, you know, little spectral form. And I decided I wanted to animate her mouth moving a little bit, as well as her sort of bobbing up and down on the screen to give her more ghost energy. For those of you who don't know, all you have to do to add alerts to your stream is to go onto Streamlabs, and there's like a widget you can use, and it'll make it pop up on your screen. So there's the first one done. The second one I made even quicker. These were like absolute like 1 a.m. emergency animations, so please forgive their roughness, but I also made one of her sort of like making some like talking movements and some little hearts popping around her head. Very, very simple stuff. And I made these in Procreate. I actually like Clip Studio best for animation, but again, because I was literally in bed while I was making these, I made them really quick. I dragged them both into my Streamlabs uploads and set the correct sound effect, as well as changing the text color to white and orange and the font to oregano. Next, I had to fix her lack of smile. Now, believe it or not, smile is not just about the mouth. In fact, it's very much about the eyes, particularly in this program. When you smile in real life, your cheeks push up your lower lid, and it makes your eyes look like they're smiling. So that's what I had to do here. I had to reopen my model in Cubism, and it threatened me by telling me that the trial period was almost over, so I really felt the tension between me and this program. But anyway, I hurried and got to fixing the lower lid and making it sort of pop up and be a little bit more like straight across. This was more difficult than I anticipated, just because the inner part of the eye was not like tracking along with the lower lid, and I had to do a lot of fiddling to get it quite right. I also, for some reason, labeled the left and right eye and inside eye opposite of what they actually are, so I really did make this a lot harder on myself than I needed to. Definitely don't recommend that. But anyway, after a lot of fiddling and messing around, I eventually got it to where I wanted it to be. This whole first pass was too subtle for me once I actually put it into the VTube Studio, which is so sad because it looked good at full strength, but you have to remember that a lot of the times your face is not going to be at the maximum smile that you're capable of. So if you want it to show up at all, you probably want to push it a little bit farther. I decided to do a little bit extra though. After I got the eye smiling, I decided to do some other effects alongside this same parameter. Even though it's listed as eye smile left and eye smile right, you can actually adjust other parts of the drawing that will sync up with the eye smiling, and I decided to perk her ears up when her eye smiles. So when she smiles and gets excited, her ears perk up a little bit, and I thought that would be extra cute. I then got even more out of control and realized that her arms don't really get to do anything, because at least in VTube Studio there is no hand tracking, and there's really like no way to make the arms interact in any particular way, because the only body movement that's really tracked is like tilting from side to side. So I decided to make her arms sort of come up closer to like her face a little bit, like she's getting excited and, you know, like putting her hands towards her like face and chest a little bit. And I think that the effect is actually really cute once it's done, though I was not sure if this was really going to make sense. I also had to add in breathing. Now I didn't want to do this at first because I was worried it would just look like weird like boob jiggling, and I didn't want it to seem like a weird pervert, but in the end I actually think a subtle breath effect actually looks really cool. And even though I know she's a ghost cow, I still think it looks great if she's breathing just a tiny bit. So I adjusted her like the warp on her chest to make it look like her like torso is filling with air, and also like her shoulders come up a tiny bit, and it does make it look like she's breathing. You just have to keep it really subtle, otherwise it's gonna look super weird. So here's how it looks when she smiles. When she frowns really strongly, it goes back to what was her neutral position, and now she can smile with her mouth closed, and as you can see, it brings in her hands a little bit and her ears perk up. I'm honestly so happy with it, and I can't believe that I was planning on not having a smile in before. Next, I really had to tidy up the model. I made it pretty quickly and pretty slapdash, so there were some areas that were just messed up, particularly behind her eyes. I didn't notice it because her eyes are huge and they were covering up this like shading area at the top of her head. But as you can see, it's kind of a mess, and you can clearly see it when her eyes are down or closed. So I really wanted to go back into the original file and just smooth these areas out so they're not so distracting. It was really bothering me, so I'm glad this is something that I can do. And then you can just re-import the file, and luckily Cubism will be able to figure out you know, where it was, and you're not going to have to like re-rig everything. I was very concerned at first, but yeah, after a little bit of cleanup work, she was looking a lot better. There were even more areas that were bothering me other than this part of her head, though this was definitely the most noticeable part. There was also this little area of highlight on her ear tag that I didn't realize was like sticking out past the tag itself. That's a quick fix, but very distracting. So I'm glad I was able to get rid of that as well. Just, you know, little cleanup stuff like this. It makes a big difference, and it's the type of thing that would really bother me if there was no way to fix it. So again, I am so happy that this is something that you can easily do. Once that was all done, I just did another like once over to just make sure that everything was looking okay. There was like a single pixel erased on the black part of her ear, and so I fixed that as well. And then I just, like I said, re-imported the file, and it was a little bit scary because you have to say that you want to replace the one that you had before. So I had to take like a minute to get over the fact that it felt like I was about to destroy my entire model, but luckily everything worked fine, and it was all okay. This was the point at which I completely redid the smile because I realized that it wasn't quite strong enough of an effect. This caused a whole set of problems though, because the inner eye was having some sort of tracking issue, and it was causing it to like pop out when I was smiling and close my eyes. So this was something that I struggled with for so long. I didn't even bother to capture it on camera for half of it, but just assume it was a lot of me being zoomed all the way into her face, playing around with vertices, and absolutely in complete despair, assuming that my model had been ruined forever. You know, we got it figured out, but geez, this part of the process is really fun and rewarding, but it's also really stressful. It feels like everything that you worked so hard for is about to like fall apart or turn into like complete like nightmare fuel at any point. So yeah, I can't tell if it's my favorite or least favorite part of the entire process.
Howdy y'all, I'm Lilybell.
Just kidding, I'm not gonna do a terrible fake southern accent. Thank you so much for watching me create my VTuber model. I'm going to be streaming when this video comes live, so if you're watching it right when it came out, then I have good news for you. You can see this in action. Hopefully I'm staying in character actually on Twitch. I found it really hard on the first one, but I'm gonna try my best to be a proper VTuber for once. And yeah, thank you so much for watching this whole series. I really love doing this. This was an awesome challenge, and yeah, I'm really proud of it. So I hope this was helpful, or at least fun to watch me floundering with these different programs, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye! Thank you so much to my spectacular patrons, including Violet Knights, Nyum Nyum, Weaselboff, Vegish, Tom the Chicken, it's Jamal, Kayla Grimes, Rodrigo, Kubo, Momok, Alana the Artist, Rylan Parker, Raylan, Kadaria, Something Super, Deadly Nightshade Art, Maria Vasquez, Astral Fox Art, Middle Z, Milky Bat, Lily Allure, The Expressive Poker Face, Morrissey Axolotl, Tsubaki, Liliana Hammondtree, Michael Lavalley, Cutie Pie, Rainwater Pearls, Ice Cream Pal, Cola, Your Boy ST, JJ Jade, and of course, Lib Lib Libla.